Coming up on this week's Gaming News Digestive, new GTA 5 trailers on the way, your chance to test FIFA 14, next Xbox on May 21st, and more video game movies incoming. Hello and welcome to this week's Gaming News Digestive. The most observant among you will notice that Leon is gone. Yes! And he's been replaced by Nathan Dighton from PlayStation Access.
Hello.
Who also has a YouTube channel. Do you want to plug it? Can you remember it?
Yeah, I can. It's youtube.com/PlayStation Access, which makes it easy, even though I still nearly got it wrong. And
Dan Dawkins, co-host of GTA 5 O'Clock, is back probably for the last time for a few weeks, Dan.
What?
Yeah, I'm having a baby. The world's first man to have a baby.
In the continuation of last week's biscuit debate, today we have Jaffa Cakes. Jaffa Cake?
Okay. I will eat a Jaffa Cake, but are they,
Well, I'm sure you all know the story about why Jaffa's cakes and not biscuits, right?
they're called cakes.
Well, yeah, but in England, they tried to make them pay VAT on the Jaffa Cakes, and they were like, whoa, because they thought they were biscuits. And
so that was a VAT-free treat that I just had?
Yeah, and Mr. Jaffa went, no, they're cakes.
Mr. Jaffa.
I imagine that's who does it.
Yeah.
And he said, because cakes go hard, biscuits go soft. And they made a giant Jaffa, and it went hard, and they went, see, cake. And then they won in court.
Was this a debate that I missed last week?
No, the debate is we've been explaining why biscuits and cookies are different, because of a lot of our American viewers don't have biscuits in America.
No, cool.
So we're just going through all the things.
Nice, okay. I thought there would be like a naval angle to biscuits as well.
Oh, well.
Ship's biscuits.
Maybe you come out next week.
Yeah, okay. I'll do a presentation.
Don't miss that.
Let's move on to some actual game news. Monday saw GTA 5's Epsilon program burst into life on Twitter and the release of a new video. Also this week, Dan, we've been promised new trailers next week, which we are excited about. 3 new trailers, in fact.
Yeah, it's a big time for GTA 5. Like, after a bit of a quiet period when we've got by with a few screenshots of weather, we finally got some actual proper stuff. Next Tuesday, Rockstar are releasing what looks like 3 new videos, which is like Michael, Franklin and Trevor, which we could probably guess is something to do with Michael, Franklin and Trevor.
Character related,
yeah,
I imagine.
Probably character related.
Yeah.
And earlier this week they released a new Kiflom video, which is there, as you say, the Epsilon program, and it's sort of crackpot dig at Scientology.
You want to be careful about that, Dan. You were very careful in the show not to annoy any of the Scientology
I'm scared to mention Scientology in any aspect, just in case. I'm on the internet.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
I feel like I could be wiped out at any stage. But, hey, Rockstar are having a gentle nudge at Scientology.
Yes.
And, again, that's likely to be a character in the game. It's likely to play a big part in the game. What it's worth looking at it's actually like a screensaver desktop video, not like a true video. But in the background, there's some really nice waves and weather.
I enjoy. Oh, I see. You're thinking from the game. I was just enjoying the design of the face that moves slowly across. There's an intangible thing about the humour of GTA. I thought just captured in the blankness of the face and the style of the whole thing. I enjoyed it. Though.
Yeah. So look at the background.
Yes. And if you enjoyed that kind of insight and more, subscribe to the GTA 5 O'Clock show, which goes out every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, apart from maybe next week where it might be slightly different.
I cannot overstate the importance of subscribing for next week. I literally cannot overstate it. It's a really exciting week for the show. It's the biggest plug ever. It's a plug like that. You need a giant bar to fit this plug.
And that's not, just randomly saying subscribe to the show. It is a huge week next week. Look at the massive plug. Just another thing on Monday is FIFA 14 are looking for playtesters, Nate.
Yeah, you'd think they'd have their own stock of them, like in a factory or something.
They'd rather have some of the internet come.
Some real kids. And it was interesting. They were asking for not just people who like FIFA, just turn up and go, yeah, this is great. This is like the new game. It's the same as the one I was playing last year. They're asking for PES men and people who only play FIFA sometimes as well.
Yeah,
obviously looking for
non-players even.
Really?
For FIFA. I think it said just even if you haven't played FIFA, come along. Give it a go.
Yeah, because you went to the preview event recently, correct?
Yeah, there's a couple of new things in it. Minor sort of gameplay things, but things that will probably affect the game quite a lot once you start playing it loads and getting used to the whole new techniques.
It's the thing with FIFA, isn't it? And the importance of playtesting especially is that, typically in the office, we play a lot at lunchtimes and stuff, and you'll play it for the first month. You go, oh, I love all the new stuff, and then it's only 3 months down the line. You're like, do I love the new stuff? Some of the new stuff is actually
They've broken
awful.
it.
Yeah, I want to go back.
It's too hard to score.
Yeah.
It's too easy to score.
And then you go through a phase where it's fine again, and but then the corners are the big problem, and then the throw-ins. Yeah, I should be one of the playtesters, clearly.
Well, I mean, you can go along.
Yeah, well,
I imagine.
just banging on the window outside. Let me in.
So yeah, if you're interested in playtesting FIFA 14, the link is in the description. You can click that. You have to fill in a survey, probably about what you like about FIFA, or if you ever played it, I imagine. And then you'll get to go along if you're selected and get hands-on with new FIFA 14.
I guess. I was going to say the key thing is to be honest, because
yes.
It said because they do want all these different sorts of players. So don't just say I love the FIFAs.
Yeah,
just do
because you're at EA going, I better not annoy them. I better say it's all brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Could I suggest as well, cynically, that they don't actually care what you think, but they are very interested in you talking about it and sharing that message with your friends?
Oh,
you could suggest.
I mean,
that,
that's really cynical. Heaven forbid. But like Nathan said, they probably have got people who could test this game. It's really cynical of me, isn't it?
It's not like people are talking about it like we are right now.
Exactly.
On the internet.
Exactly. I will say as well this week, there was a man who was employed, this is actually sort of related, a man who was employed and his job is to test every single water slide in the world.
What?
Do you think that's a real job?
I'd like it to be a real
Why
job.
all of them? What jurisdiction can possibly cover every slide?
Is there like a worldwide arbitration board?
What's
for
he testing
fun
for?
slides?
Like
Safety.
Yeah.
Safety and
Health
fun.
and safety.
I do
Two key elements.
I do remember
fun.
reading about safety of water slides, and there was apparently one like in the same way there are for roller coasters. There's like a subculture of people who go around the world like wanting these amazing slides.
Extreme water slides.
Exactly, and there's one which was just went straight down, and it was like a proper loop the loop, and people used to get stuck in the top. So
what the? Whoa!
So people.
That's why we need safety testers.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
extremely fun, not very safe.
No.
That would be my rating for that one.
Yeah. Caution.
Tuesday brought us the news that it seems someone has been watching this show, Dan, because on the way
Good Lord.
are Heavenly
What next?
Sword and Ratchet and Clank movies. You know, a couple of weeks ago when I brought you those brilliant suggestions.
Oh yeah.
Huh? I mean, they weren't. I didn't suggest Ratchet and Clank or Heavenly Sword, to be honest.
I thought you suggested something involving Treasure Island Dizzy. Which,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, hasn't come back.
No, but that's
Wow.
because
That seems the obvious choice.
Mr. Potato Head was going to be Dizzy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, in the game?
And in the film that I suggested.
Right. Oh, okay. I was gonna.
In
Okay.
Fantasyland.
Right. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, but the Ratchet and Clank movie is out 2015, not being animated by like Pixar or DreamWorks or anything. They've decided to do it in-house.
Well, part of it's in-house, and then there's two other companies whose names I read before coming down to film this, and then forgot about.
Right.
And I think that it looks like they're taking on the bulk of the animation work, which does, if you've seen the teaser, it does look like proper, full-on cinematic animation quality. And then Insomniac are involved for character. I think the writer who's done the last few games, TJ something. See, this is why I'm here.
TJ Hooker.
For the facts, yeah. I think, William Shatner's involved. So they're going to be, they're like consulting.
Helping.
Yeah. Thanks, yeah.
Observing helplessly through perspex. What are you doing?
But the trailer looked good and you know, funny-ish.
Yeah.
Like it was the same as the game. There's no like. I think it would be a good movie for kids.
Do you know what I always think?
What?
Sorry.
I was going to say it better be in 3D.
I think they joked about it being in 3D. In the,
They
in the
joked,
teaser.
but it better not have been like a haha. It's never going to be in 3D.
Really. No, of course. I think it will because of the push that Sony have had on 3D.
That's true.
But the thing I always think when they do animated movies where the teaser like that is nothing to do with the final film. Like if I was making like an hour and a half animated movie, it must take ages, right? And then they're like, make this 2.5 minute teaser. I'd be like, well, I can't put that in the. No, I'm just not doing it. No, everything I want to build seconds into my final thing.
Do you think it will actually come out in the real cinema?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the difference between the Heavenly Sword one is not pegged for the cinema,
right.
but I think this one is they've gone large, as they say.
If you think of all the like Wreck-It Ralph and all that like stuff is all sort of animated kids stuff, it fits into that demographic perfectly of like a tiny robot and a man with big ears.
It's what makes it a really, because obviously like different strata of releases and different budgets and different kind of qualities that you need to kind of make each one work. And I think that that's what makes it so interesting is that they're not going for. I think that we've seen, Disney has kind of a home entertainment direct to DVD kind of just industry churning stuff out all the time, and to aim for the cinematic release straight away proves. I think it's it's a big. I don't know what it is. It's a big something. It's
a big move. Well, they're franchising it basically, aren't they? You're going to have toys out of it, you imagine, and little lunch boxes.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the most franchisable thing that. Probably.
I mean, it is actually, it's actually quite funny. Ratchet and Clank, it's of all the things Sony do, I can see it working. I wonder, actually, this might be an aside, but what with Xbox, unveiling their new Xbox on May the 21st.
Which is coming up next.
Oh, well, there we go. Don't get too far ahead of the curve. But again, they're talking about doing their own bold things in TV and perhaps with content partnership deals. Could this be the first step on Sony creating their own content exclusives where our IP is only available on our machine?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That kind of thing. I don't know, but whether they see that as a line to pursue or not.
Well, I still think people and content producers, publishers are clearly trying to figure out how big games become. So like Assassin, all the stuff at Ubisoft, Assassin, Splinter Cell. But also there was all that talk of the Uncharted movie. When I was in LA a couple of years back talking to Nolan North about how he wasn't going to be in the film, and he was. They did the Eye of Indra? They did some animated stuff which went on PSN. Almost like a test for this kind of thing. And he was saying, well, if there's an animated movie, I would love to do that. And you kind of think the technology that Naughty Dog are using in the cutscenes isn't like a million, and obviously that's why the Ratchet and Clank things happen, not a million miles away. And you kind of think maybe this could be, as rendering gets that much more powerful, maybe this is the way that they're going to do it.
Wednesday saw the announcement of the Xbox 720, that's right, 2 announcements in one, that's what I've done, is coming May 21st. So put the date in your diaries, everyone get excited, maybe not from a PlayStation point of view.
I'm reasonably
just
excited.
Sigh and shrug it off.
Yeah, I am. It's quite near my birthday, so I'm excited about that.
That's a nice present for you.
Yep.
But we'll finally get to see, Dan, what they've been conjuring up in the Microsoft offices for the past couple of years, holding it on their own campus. They're making everyone come to them. Which is...
I'm not sure they'll go.
Well, they definitely will.
I think the thing that's interesting is obviously there's been lots of rumours about Xbox over the last few months, if not years. But maybe it's been a bit less of a leaky ship than PlayStation 4 was, possibly. But I think the interesting thing is the way already Major Nelson's come out and said you can see the future of, it's not just of games, it's of entertainment and
their brand,
some other word, but it clearly wasn't, the push wasn't solely on games, and it's in marked contrast to what PlayStation 4 was
on
about.
Games, does it? I mean, it's the easy thing for me to do is to come and just smash Xbox as much as I can, but I haven't heard, but PlayStation was all about games, and Xbox has always been about always on internet connections and about content deals, with cable companies and stuff. That's all I've heard about it.
Well, I think, and that's clearly the direction they're going to push for, and I think they're aiming for a much more mass market entertainment set-top box. They're probably going to announce some really interesting, again, content partnership deals, which, in the UK could be things like, and they've got a good relationship with Sky, for example. Now, quite how they take that to the full degree, but there's talk about XTV being something they're going to announce, and the idea of there being a split screen capability, so you can record using your Xbox, let's say the football, and then when you're playing Call of Duty later, you can stream the football in picture-in-picture.
Okay.
Now, to be honest with you, if I'm watching football and trying to play Call of Duty, one of them is going to suffer. Yeah. And Call of Duty, you've got to be 100% in the moment.
At the same time and try and perfectly recreate the game you're watching.
Man, but this is the hypothetical man does this, doesn't he? Mr. Hypothetical kid in his plexiglass bedroom's playing this. Nobody does that.
No, that's true. It's interesting that they said that E3 will reveal their full next gen game lineup.
They do talk about games, that is true.
Yeah, but that was but not for this conference.
But they'll show some games, because they've got, it'll be like Sony, they'll show some games, but they'll keep the powder dry. And what they're essentially saying is, this is the concept, this is the dream, this is the vision, you buy into it, see you at E3, and then the battleground is PlayStation 4's secret, not shown titles versus Xbox's big guns. E3's going to be brilliant, because it's going to be all about exciting games we're going to play. Right now they're selling us dreams and brand propositions almost, so be interesting to see how the internet reacts, given the incredibly lukewarm reaction to PS4 in some quarters, which I found quite astonishing, really, considering Sony answered almost every question we asked of them, showed pretty decent looking games, are massively embracing indies and giving them their own self-publishing structures. They've made the pad better. They've got rid of loading times, apparently. All these things are brilliant. And everyone went,
it's not enough, Dan. Not enough.
Show me the box. Show me the box.
Yeah, it has to be here.
And again, will Xbox show the box? Will they do that? Will they save that for E3? Because Sony are effectively revealing twice, aren't they?
Because obviously I'm not completely up to date with this stuff. So does anyone know what it's called yet? Because that's what I want to know.
The hot money's on Xbox.
Yeah.
And the hashtag for the event is Xbox Reveal. Okay. Now, obviously, that might be because they're not going to give away the name in the title, but my guess is the title's either Xbox Infinity or Xbox, and that seems to Xbox is what people.
Xbox Infinity, they can't call it
You seem to know.
Well, where'd you go after Infinity as well? Like,
+1.
You're done.
Like when you're a kid,
+1.
Infinity +1.
No returns. Maybe that'll be it.
A quick aside as we're talking about E3, it seems Nintendo have just decided they're not going to do a conference this year.
Not even in the game.
Hints towards that they've just decided they're out. Which is big. It'll be
it's hard though, isn't it? I guess
first time in a long time that they haven't been there.
But PlayStation 4 is the first time at E3 and they've got all these new games, and Xbox has got this normal game, and Nintendo turns up and goes, well, we've launched already, but you know, working on
what
this
have they got
weekend.
to do? His
Exactly.
Mario again.
It's just getting out there to be thrashed. It'd be madness.
Yeah, they'd be insane to try and compete, because whether they want to or not, they'd be forced into the same arena of who won E3.
Yeah.
They're not winning that at all. So why enter the race if you're definitely going to lose? And I think they can do things with Nintendo Direct that are good enough for the hardcore audience.
Yeah.
The bigger challenge is, who else are they speaking and engaging with? Because E3 does reach a wider mainstream audience. So Nintendo falling out of that conversation, whilst they're going to lose it, it's still bad that they've gone out of the spotlight. And I think something like Nintendo Direct is preaching to the converted, essentially. And I quite like the charm of seeing Iwata talk away, and it's all full of in-jokes, but they need to sell consoles and they need to tell people why they've got to buy Wii U. And at the moment, I can't see that many good reasons.
Thursday saw Sony release a new video for the DualShock 4, which showed us a couple of new features, most of which we sort of knew about, like the light bar and the share button and stuff.
Yes.
The thing that excited me was
the split screen, right?
Yeah, that it knew where you'd be sitting, and if you moved across the room, it would move the split screen to the right-hand side.
When we
of the
play,
TV.
Sometimes we play 4 players around the screen on definitely a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
And at lunchtime
with space soldiers.
Yeah, exactly, Killzone, and we do, but then you have the situation where we're kind of all a half a foot away from a 20 million inch screen, just kind of you're looking up there at that corner. So yeah, the idea that it will rearrange.
It's clever, but then I mean, thinking about it, how many split screen games are going to be on next generation consoles?
I don't know.
I'd suggest not very many.
Yeah, it seems like it's the thing you hear and you go, wow, the pad will auto detect where you sat. So if I move to Nathan's seat, my side of the split screen shifts that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a cool feature, but whether in reality I get to use it. If I'm going to play online, it'll probably be just on my big screen.
I think we're in danger of blowing out what was delivered in the video as an example into because and he said this is a small thing, but it shows you the kind of range of intuitive things that the DualShock new, what's it called? DualShock 4? Yeah. That makes sense.
For PlayStation 4.
That's the one. Allows you to do. We should probably record that, James. No, that's fine.
No, it's good though, and it was interesting that those kind of things are being looked at and given to developers just to play with, really, those kind of effects.
Yeah. What I liked was, again, a little thing where they said, there's a speaker in the PlayStation 4 pad itself, so that can work as a separate channel to your TV. I was thinking, in the hands of a Kojima-esque character, there's scope for things like, man on the television says, "Submit to me, fool," and I'll grind your ass or something.
That's a line from Dad's new game.
Yeah, one of your codec, really good conversation writer. And then one of the codec people would go like, "Don't listen to him, Snake."
Wow, is that an exclusive clip?
Yeah, that's
because you've been to see
essentially
Kojima, haven't you?
a key scene from Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm praising. But I mean, there's loads of scope to do cool things, or even if you're getting shot at by bullets, as is the norm in games, certain bullets could appear closer than they actually are because they could go ping, 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 ping.
Not to pour water on it, but didn't the Wiimote have a microphone in it?
Yeah,
I can't remember, except for playing Mario Kart and it going. No, Mario. When you're in a bubble on Mario and you get out of the bubble,
right?
That's the only.
I remember
that's
working
the best
with
use of it.
golf as well. So you do it and it would make the noise like.
Or the swish.
Yeah, it would go. Whoop.
Oh, that's quite good. Okay, well, everybody's golf. PlayStation 4.
Oh well, yeah. There you go. But you're right. I can see someone like Kojima having even making you detecting where the light bar is in the room and going, you're going to need to sit more to the right hand side for this cutscene, and then you have to move across your seat. You're like.
Some guy tweeted me with a really great idea, or sort of a great idea, and he was saying that if you could use the pad as a motion detecting device, this is ridiculous, right? And he's saying you could have like a Mad Men game where you pour Don a drink, and you go like that, and you can hear the
What, from the mic?
Wow, that's a AAA game right there.
Yeah.
It's pouring drinks.
That's as likely to come out as my conversation piece.
I guess if how about you're throwing a grenade and you pretend to pull a pin, and then it goes, the little noise where the pin comes up, and you hear it because it'll be next to your head as well, and then you throw it.
I like that.
And if you actually throw the pad, the explosion noise comes from over there as well. Then you have to buy a new pad.
And finally, we're on to Dan's favourite bit of the show. Dan, here's this week's news. With the release of Saints Row 4 getting a special edition, which features an in-game screaming eagle jet, which has ultra-powered dubstep guns and rocket launchers, can you think of any DLC items or like special edition packs that you'd like to, items that you'd like to have in certain upcoming games? While you're thinking,
I do need to think.
What about for Call of Duty Ghosts, which
Right.
may or may not have been announced? I think it has.
Right.
That special edition comes with just a white sheet and a marker pen
Okay.
for
Or
making
scissors.
your own.
Yeah, you need scissors really, otherwise you'll have dark spots. But you won't
then
be
you'd
able
have to
see.
sell that to Does that count as like a
Oh, the
dangerous?
minors.
Yeah.
Let's shoot. I think
Although it's probably going to be an 18.
the sheet would probably have to be pre-holed. in that
Pre-hole
case.
sheet
Pre-holed.
with a marker pen for drawing your own face on it or something.
Mhm.
For Halloween. That one's good, right? Dan? Good. The Last of Us
Right.
Yeah.
comes with like a half-eaten can of beans or something.
They've announced what's in The Last of Us.
Have
and
they?
and
Is it that?
It's
It's
not beans.
Oh,
No,
come on.
Even I could guess that.
Well, maybe they've announced their version.
Just a brick and a target, so you can practice the melee combat from the
Smacking
game.
people.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
No, that's not in there either. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I'm spitballing.
oh, that could come with the can of beans.
With the beans, it could probably fit inside where the rest of the beans used to be.
It's just
probably
a
just
small
slot-
rock.
Slot right in there.
that'd
Yeah.
be good. Or maybe for like Blood Dragon, although it's downloadable only. They
It
could
is.
have given away like the D20 dice that you throw to or a dinosaur heart.
Yeah.
That'd have been good.
Yeah. Or what I used to have one in the 80s when I was alive. And I wanted one for ages, and then I can't even remember how I got it. It just turned up in my house. I was like, oh my god, I've got one. The Karate Kid, just like bandana. It probably said idiot or something, or
Right.
fool, but just a bandana with Oriental writing on that I would tie behind my head. Maybe Blood Dragon could have one of them.
Could have done. Yeah.
Dan, have you thought of your thing yet? Because we're running out of steam.
No, not really. I mean, the only thing I thought was I've played a whopping 10 minutes of Tomb Raider, and what I
Right.
would like is DLC to make the entire world slightly more damp. Because
Okay.
it's the world's biggest fire hazard.
Yeah,
Well,
If
it's
you
good,
play it
yeah.
like the minute you put a torch to anything, woo, it's gone.
And it's a tropical island as well. It
I
should
know.
it should be raining.
It's tamping down with rain.
I don't know.
How Tinder dry is that world, I ask
You
you?
just want like a little spraying can, like a plant.
Yeah, just like a
Just
DLC spray can, just to
Safety
make
can.
walking not like an exercise in flame walking. That would be quite
Yeah.
safe and unlikely.
Well, if you've only played 10 minutes, slight spoiler, it gets a bit more fiery later on.
Oh well.
So,
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a fire game.
there's more fire to come. But we all know, like as we've mentioned before, if they're going to have any DLC in Tomb Raider, it's going to be Koth Manor. Because if they don't make Koth Manor, I'm going to be really sad.
They've done that in a previous game, haven't they?
Yeah, but where this, I want
Oh, a
new
graphics Koth
generation.
Manor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was her, all the things. Like a little playground for doing all the training stuff in, a little quad bike, a butler.
Yeah.
It'd be brilliant. Good. So you haven't got any other suggestions? That was
Not
your,
good ones.
Well, not as good as my ones, you mean?
Yeah, not as good as yours. So I wouldn't want to compete.
All right.
To
Fair
make
enough.
myself look bad.
What
Well-
about Beyond? Surely there's something for Beyond that you could have.
Ellen
Did you
Page.
see? Oh, did you see the thing? It's
Oh.
not.
Go on.
Did you see the script they sent out? And I thought it was quite. The Wall Street Journal basically blogged about it. So there was. It's at the Tribeca Film Festival
Yeah.
this weekend. They're going to show like an hour from it or something, like some cutscenes from the game. It's quite a big deal. And as part of the promotion, they sent out a script, right, for Beyond. And the idea was they're sending it to film journalists and that kind of thing. It's like, well, you know that film scripts are about 150 pages, but did you know that the script for Beyond was 2,000?
Right.
And apparently it's like blank underneath. And it's like, that's quite a clever PR thing, and they probably made a couple of hundred of them. And this guy, I think it was a lady actually, on the Wall Street Journal, I think it was saying, Ellen Page is involved in Save the Earth campaigns. What's she going to feel about there being, because it's just blank inside. Like, what's she going to think about this? Blah, blah, blah. I just think she'd probably think it's quite funny, and then you can recycle it. Just recycle it
Yeah.
afterwards.
Or use it to draw on or something.
Yeah.
You don't have to throw it away.
It's a colour. It's a 2000. It's the best colouring book I'd have ever had as a kid. I wouldn't be able to
Exactly.
pick it up, but
No.
I'd like actually a 6-inch model David Cage.
Yeah.
And you,
What?
you
You
press
press-
his tummy. He says key Cage-esque phrases
Polygons.
like
Emotional.
polygons, emotion. How far?
That's good.
How far would you go to say polygons? And then you could remix him and go pop 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 polygons.
Like a soundboard. David Cage soundboard.
I like David Cage.
Yeah.
I
No, we know, Dan.
find at times he verges on a parody of himself. And I love his games, and I think he's a talented man.
Well, it turns out that's probably the best suggestion. A little David Cage 6-inch soundboard.
Doll.
Sorry.
With a soundboard inside.
Well, if you've got any other ideas, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Check out PlayStation Access's channel.
Do.
YouTube.com/PlayStation Access. Join Dan every Wednesday at 5 for GTA 5 o'clock.
There's the plug.
That's the big plug. That's going to come out next week. Pull that right out.
You're going to pull the plug?
Pull it right out, yeah.
Oh, man. That's not worked.
Oh, sorry. No, I'll leave it in. And stay tuned, and we'll see you next week.